thank you all for joining us today for this important cybersecurity briefing and roundtable. We appreciate your presence and your commitment to prioritizing the security of your business. Before we dive into the agenda for today, let me take a moment to introduce our team and provide an overview of what we do here at ZATIS. We're a team of dedicated experts in IT and cybersecurity working tirelessly to ensure that our clients receive top-notch support and protection for their businesses. Our mission is to help you navigate the complex world of technology while safeguarding your most valuable business assets.
Yeah, your valuable assets are valuable to you, but they're valuable to us as well because we don't like to see it when people have their stuff broken. Before we really dive in, just quick go over the agenda for today. Should be a pretty quick meeting. We won't take up too much of your time. We're going to talk about what's really going on. For that, I'll send it over to John. He's going to really kind of get in depth on our subject matter, which is sort of the idea of hacktivism. We're going to talk about a actual real life instance of who it impacts. We're going to go over cost considerations. We're going to talk about what we have control over, and most importantly, how you can use this information to leverage growth. But without further ado, I'll pass it over to my main man, John, to kind of tell you what's really going on.
Thanks, Ben. Recently, cyber and ransomware attacks on public safety agencies and police departments have become increasingly more frequent. This increase has been primarily driven by data theft, initial access broker activity, IAB, which is theft and sale of credentials for network access, and a new one, hacktivism, which is social or political activism via hacking. This differs from the subject of our previous roundtables in that the victims of these attacks, being police departments and public safety organizations, are not your usual cash-heavy targets, not discounting the financial gain by theft or extortion aspect. The new attack, hacktivism, has become a major threat, kind of like stick it to the man by stealing his tools. Hacktivism accounted for 83% of all cyber activity against public safety agencies in the third quarter of 2023. Cybercrime, including hacktivism against law enforcement, was up 28% in this same time period. Although there was a slight decline in extortion attacks and data breaches against public safety agencies in quarter 3 of 2023, distributed denial of service attacks saw a 14% increase in that time period. And initial access broker activity, the IAB, increased by 17%, with 90% of IAB attacks resulting in network compromises. That's quite a success rate. Most of the damage inflicted here is with crucial services being hampered by losing their efficiency in processing and data access. As a result, they have to revert back to the old-fashioned way of doing things to perform the job. In the private sector, this effect can be very costly. If you lost access to your data and processes, could you continue to do business efficiently or even at all?
Yeah, not having access to your tools is certainly going to put a damper on your day, and it's certainly going to make you less efficient. For our more specific example for today, for our local example, we're going to be talking about a recent cyber attack on Grand Traverse County. We sort of picked this one out because it's a little different from what we normally do, where we talk about the sort of effects on private businesses. It goes to show, I think, that it can really happen to anyone, even like the lockdown government sector. And so we'll play a quick, short little video about exactly what happened there.
Although the county and city say first responders are unaffected, what they mean is the emergency services they provide aren't affected. How they're documenting and getting to the scenes, though, is very different without the luxury of technology.
The reason for the stop today is the speed. I was doing 45, and then I all of a sudden see a black Ford Escape drive right past me on the left-hand side. And I'm like, they must not know what the speed limit is.
The last time we saw Deputy Brent Miller, the traffic unit for the Grand Traverse Sheriff's Office, he had a little more bells and whistles to do his job.
This is a prime example right now of, they told me it was South Airport and Park, but I don't know where they pulled into. So now I have to ask dispatch, where did they pull into?
A cyber attack on the county's network means law enforcement lost access to systems that tend to make the job a little faster.
Central 962.
962.
What was the location again? South Airport and Park. What parking lot?
As Deputy Miller explains, it's a little harder to be proactive. With no access to the law enforcement information network or lien, he can't run license plates or
Cannot verify car insurance. He shows me pictures of his driver's license, which is, he's supposed to have his driver's license while he's driving. But he showed me an identification card, so I can't verify his driver's license.
with no way to check, Deputy Miller says.
I'm doing like a good faith, like he's telling me he's good. And whenever our systems are back up and running, that's how I'll go back and check. So this is basically our state of Michigan traffic crash report, and I would fill in all this, but it's all online, so it makes it a lot easier. So if it comes down to it, if this is an issue for the next day, I think tomorrow, if it's still happening, I will have to go sit down at the station and go do all of these.
Computer-aided dispatch systems, or CAD, keep track of all the calls for service. Without it, deputies are writing out all their calls.
I made an Excel sheet because I can't open up my other programs that I use that automatically tracks everything that we do.
He can't pull up a map with the location of other officers, and neither can Central Dispatch, which is why they're doing check-ins so everyone knows where the other is.
Pretty dangerous with this issue going on, honestly, safety-wise, but nothing is going to affect the police service that we'll give to our civilians.
The service they provide for the public is what Deputy Miller says is still everyone's top priority, even during a cyber attack.
We're not going to let that affect us and how we do our job. We're going to still make sure that everyone's safe in the community. Do you need a hug?
No.
Come on, get out, give me a hug. It's okay, come on.
I'm all sweaty. You don't want to do
I don't care, come on. It's okay, it'll make you feel better.
Law enforcement isn't sure when they will have access to their systems again. In the Content Center, Allie Baxter, back to you.
Wow, I didn't know they were giving out hugs instead of tickets. I mean, shoot. Don't know that I want to hug that officer, but shoot, it sounds like a better alternative.
Almost, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is kind of a quick overview of what we had going on. Why on earth this doesn't want to go full screen, I have no idea. Let's try this one more time.
Yeah, it's a real bugger. You got to represent. Yeah, that's pretty wild. And don't let me throw you off track, Ben, but I'm chuckling just because some of the comments made, like, hey, I actually have to, like work and, do this versus the computer doing everything for me. But I mean, it's pretty bad, when emergency services are shut down. I mean, that's real bad, when emergency services are shut down due to a cyber attack. So
absolutely. Yeah. It really is. It's kind of scary when you think about it that way. When you go like, oh, what if I called for help and no one was able to help me? The police officer in that footage said he had to go back to dispatch a couple of times. Like, I don't know where they are. Help me out. But you have to, as a business owner, you'd have to kind of think about that as it relates to you and what you do. You don't have access to the tools that you need to do your job, or your employees don't have access to the tools that they use for their job on the every day. How much money are you losing? Just someone sitting on their hands, not able to work. And as John kind of put it, hacktivism is a big thing as far as like attacking the public sector. And the sad thing is that the private sector also has its own form of hacktivists. They usually don't even have much of an agenda. It's less of a stick it to the man sort of situation and more of a stick in it because I can.
Sure.
we call them script kiddies, but those are people who will go online and buy a hack or buy something to mess up the systems of a private company just because they can, or because for whatever reason that company doesn't quite stand for what they stand for, that sort of thing. So it really can happen to everyone, and you really do have to make sure you're protecting yourself, because even if they don't want your money, they might just be trying to make you have a bad day.
It's kind of a better term might be cyber vandalism.
Cyber
Sure.
vandalism. There you go. That's a good one, actually.
Let's
Less
trademark that.
hacktivism, more trademark it. We'll have to check in on that one, Jason. I'll get back to you. And so, yeah, when we talk about what the cost is in regards to this, it's less about like the exact number of dollars that you have to pay to get something fixed, because in this instance, it is governmental and they can leverage whatever resources they need because those systems just have to get back online. But the first thing they do when they notice that there's something bad going on is the first thing that anybody in our field would have to do, which is shut it all down, stop it from spreading, keep it from getting worse than it already is. And when you do that, you have to spend time fixing it. And while you're spending time fixing it, people are stuck doing nothing. And you're paying people for exactly that. Nothing. Throwing money out the window. Especially if you are in a manufacturing or sort of distribution business. So all that being said, the nice part is that this info about the possible losses and possible damage can be used to leverage growth in the future.
Absolutely. So investing in cybersecurity can be strategic and can become an asset for your business's growth. So here are some examples. Identify opportunities. By prioritizing cybersecurity, it positions your business as a trusted and secure partner, ultimately attracting customers and clients who value security. Building customer trust, implementing robust cybersecurity measures instills confidence in customers and builds long-term relationships based on trust. Enhance reputation. A strong cybersecurity posture enhances your reputation as a responsible and reliable organization, attracting customer loyalty and new business opportunities. Not to mention meeting regulatory requirements, fostering innovation. By leveraging cybersecurity, you can build trust, meet compliance, foster innovation, and position your business for sustainable growth. It's funny, I walk into the grocery store and they're all about sustainability. Well, in the business world nowadays, when it comes to cybersecurity, we think you got to pay attention to this, or you might not be sustained, in the business place. So, what do you have control over? You wouldn't just wing open heart surgery or your taxes or even a haircut. So, why would you do that for your business? Most people think their IT department is protecting them. This is not always the case. As business owners, it's important to focus on what we can control to protect our organizations. And so here are three key areas: proactive risk mitigation, agility and speed, and trusted partnerships. So it's how quickly are you going to adopt and accept, the fact that this stuff is not going away. It's going from bad to worse. And there are simple things that you could and should be doing about that. So we are helping our clients, and we're here today because we want to help business owners position themselves for long-term success. Before we wrap up, I'd like to express our gratitude to each and every one of you for attending today's briefing. Your commitment to prioritizing cybersecurity is commendable, and we value your partnership. As a token of our appreciation, we are offering a free gift to everyone in attendance. It's a 2-page PDF that outlines the 5 essential security controls that every business must have in place. These controls range from implementing multi-factor authentication and regular data backups to utilizing password managers, maintaining firewalls, and conducting security awareness training for employees. In conclusion, I want to thank you all once again for your time and participation. We hope that today's briefing has provided valuable insight and actionable steps to enhance your organization's cybersecurity posture. Remember, if you need any assistance or you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can book a cyber discovery call. We're always here to help you. Have a wonderful day and stay safe in the digital world.
Thank you, Jason, and thanks everybody who's here, hearing us out, listening to what we got. We appreciate your time, and I'll second that, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
See ya.